Hi, I'm Jen
And I'm Steve-O.
from Toucan Travel.
And so can you.
In this video, we're going to give you our honest review of the website Trusted Housesitters, which allows you to find house sits and pet sits in the US and all over the world.
We've used Trusted Housesitters since 2019, and since then we've done 14 house sits in 6 different countries.
We've mostly had amazing experiences using Trusted Housesitters, but we've had some not so great experiences as well.
In this video, we'll share what we like about Trusted Housesitters, some things we don't like, how the platform works, so you can decide if this is the best house sitting platform for you.
So through Trusted Housesitters, house sitting and pet sitting works as an exchange. So on the platform, both house sitters and homeowners have their own profile. The homeowner will put up a post saying that they're looking for house sitters for certain dates, and then as a house sitter, you can apply for those sits.
It works kind of like a dating app to find the hot singles in your area.
In their profile, the homeowner will share all of the responsibilities that they need the house sitter to take care of while they're away. So usually that's things like taking in the mail, taking out the garbage, general household maintenance, and making sure everything is clean. And it almost always involves pets. So taking care of whatever pets the homeowner has, whether it's dogs, cats, ferrets, birds.
Snakes!
Yep, we've house sat snakes. We've house sat for all kinds of animals at this point, so whatever you're comfortable with, only apply for sits with those animals. Once you see a sit that you feel good about, you can reach out to the homeowner and apply for that house sit, and then usually you'll get on a call with them. At least that's what we like to do, on Zoom or Skype or WhatsApp or whatever works for you. Get to know each other better and ask any questions you have, and then if everything seems good, then you can agree to the sit and you're connected and you can go do that house sit. So that's a very general outline of how it works.
Finding house sitters saves homeowners a lot of money because that means they don't have to board their pets, which is very expensive, and the animals can stay safe and healthy and happy in their own homes.
Yeah, animals definitely appreciate not having to be boarded, and the homeowners also like that their home is not left unattended while they're away. No one wants to leave their home dark while they're gone and have it be subject to possible theft or people intruding, so it's nice for the homeowner to know that their home is also being well taken care of while they're gone.
So that's what's in it for the homeowners. And for the house sitter, you get a free place to stay, and it's a lot nicer than staying in a hotel or Airbnb because you're staying in someone's home. So they have all the things that make things nice and homey, nice appliances, nice beds, big TVs. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and beyond all those things, it's really cool that when you're house sitting, you're generally staying in a local neighborhood, so you often get to meet the neighbors or participate in things in the community. It's a really nice feeling compared with staying in just an Airbnb or a hotel. We also work from home, and so we really love that we get to spend our time with animals around us when we're working. That's just a really nice vibe to have in the house. We definitely think that pet sitting is well suited for digital nomads or people who work online and can spend a good amount of time with pets because homeowners are often looking for that. Trusted Housesitters is great for solo travelers, couples, and families.
Trusted Housesitters is a global platform, and anybody on earth can sign up to use it, even you.
So we'll start out with the positives and why we love using Trusted Housesitters.
The number one thing we love about Trusted Housesitters is its global reach. There are house sits available everywhere in the world, and we've done house sits all over the world.
Yeah, literally on 4 different continents at this point.
Another thing that we like about Trusted Housesitters is that it is a well-established platform, and they put the trusted in Trusted Housesitters by making you go through a background check where they check your ID and they use a third party to make sure that you actually are who you say you are before they let you apply to any of the house sits.
That part of the platform makes us feel really secure knowing that the people whose homes we're staying in have also been verified, and I'm sure it makes homeowners feel a lot better knowing that the house sitters are also verified with an ID and background check.
There's also the option to have insurance through your membership, which covers things like property damage or liability stuff. So it's really good to have that peace of mind that if something does go wrong, that you're not screwed.
You can also get access to a 24-hour vet assistance line in case anything happens with the pets you're taking care of. You have access to that through the Trusted Housesitters website.
Trusted Housesitters also has a large community forum where they can answer any questions you may have about using the platform, what to do with certain pets, and really any questions you may have about anything, ever.
I don't think they had such an extensive forum when we first signed up, but now for new sitters, when you first join, there is so much information at your disposal for how to set up your profile and do various things on the website. And I love that Trusted Housesitters really seems to listen to members, and they're always making updates and changes on their website to improve it. For example, Trusted Housesitters has recently updated the review process. So after you complete a house sit, you can leave a review for the homeowner and they can leave a review for you as the house sitter. And this is how you establish your credibility on the platform. platform. Now the review process is more similar to Airbnb's, where both parties can't see each other's reviews for up to 14 days until both parties have written them, and that makes the whole process better for transparency and honesty. And you might be wondering about how you're supposed to get pet sits without having reviews if you're new to the platform, so we'll go over that in a little bit as well. And of course, having free accommodation while you're traveling is a really great perk of being a member of Trusted House Sitters. We were adding it up, and I think we've had just about 2 years of free accommodation in total out of the last 4 years that we've been traveling because we've been house sitting through Trusted House Sitters, and that kind of blew our minds to realize.
You could find short and long-term house sits. House sits range from a single night all the way up to 6 months.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If you're just looking for a weekend away, then you can find house sits probably somewhere near where you live. That way you could start building up your reviews on your profile. So if you decide one day that you do want to house sit for longer sits or internationally, then you'll have more reviews on your profile.
One of the things that we really like about the platform and that we did not expect at all is that we've actually made a lot of friends through the platform with all the people that we've house sat before in the past. We still chat with them sometimes. We've even met up with them again during our travels.
Yeah, we keep up with a lot of people we've met on the platform because obviously you get pretty close, especially bonding over the pets because you have a shared love of the pets by the end of your house sit. We've met so many amazing humans and animals through Trusted House Sitters, and it's just really enhanced our travels in that way. Another thing is that we've gotten to experience living in places that there's no way we could have lived in if it wasn't for Trusted House Sitters. Because like I said earlier, you often stay in local neighborhoods, but we also have stayed in some places we had never even heard of, like rural villages in France or the UK or here in Peru where we are right now. And it's just exposed us to areas of the world that are really quite amazing.
And we get way off the beaten path to go to these places that we would never have gone to if it wasn't for Trusted House Sitters.
And likewise, we've also sat in a lot of major cities. So we've done house sits in London, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Thailand, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So there's a really good variety of house sits in both cities and in more rural areas. There's also house sits by the beach. I mean, really the options are endless.
If you can imagine it, there's a house sit there.
And even if you can't imagine it, there's probably a house sit there too.
Whoa! The process to find and apply for house sits is really easy, and we'll show you how it works. So this is what Trusted House Sitters looks like on the back end. Just looking at this world map, you can see that there are thousands of sits available all over the world. And there are a lot of different ways that you can narrow down your search. You can search by dates. You can look for September 2nd to September 23rd. If you're not searching for dates, you can also just search by duration. You can search anywhere from 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, all the way up to 6 months, okay? You can also search by pets, so you can search for any pets, no pets. Those are rare, but they do exist. Dogs, cats, reptiles, horses, fish, birds, poultry, livestock, and small pets. So if you know how to take care of a sheep, then you can find yourself a house sit. There's also local attractions. You can search for beaches, cities, countryside, and mountains. We've actually never used these filters before, but might be a good idea. And then finally, there are more filters. I can search if I want a house or an apartment, family-friendly spaces, high-speed Wi-Fi. Actually, we should probably do that one because we work from home, so we need high-speed Wi-Fi. Also disabled access, accessible by public transport, and use of car included. So there are a lot of cool things that you can narrow your search by. But you don't have to use any of these to find yourself a good house sit. I can also use the search bar. Let's see, like if I want to do a sit in New York City. Let's see what happens. So what the map will do is we'll narrow down and see. Okay, there are 25 house sits around. You can see they're not all in New York City. They're pretty big space around it, but those are near New York City. And once I find a region I want to look for, I can do dates, duration, pets, local attractions, or even the other filters as well. So I can use a combination of any of the filters or none of them to find a house sit. One of the fun things to do is just look at the world map and click on something like, hey, there are 11 sits in Alaska. I never would have thought to go to Alaska, but hey, maybe if I got a free place to stay and someone to introduce me to the spot, it could be a lot more fun. I don't know. I don't like the cold, but that's obviously one example. And then when I'm looking at the world map, I can narrow my search down by clicking on one of these bubbles. I can see that there are 4 here around South Africa. So let's see where those are. So they're all over South Africa. Oh, and Kenya as well. That's really cool. One of the cool things that we really enjoy about Trusted House Sitters is that it can take you to anywhere in the world, or even just a spot in your own backyard. If I hover over the USA, for example. I mean, there are so many house sits available in the USA that you could see it's split up between the West Coast and the East Coast. So if I click over here, it shows me that there are, let's see, 30,000 house sits in, Western Canada, Mexico, and all over the United States. So there are house sits all over the world, and all you got to do is find one that works for you, and then you can apply. There are almost 6,000 house sits accepting applications right now. So there are tons of opportunities to go to all sorts of really cool places all over the world.
And they pop up every single day.
Every single day.
Literally yesterday we were searching for a house sit in South America, and I just refreshed the page and a new one popped up. So if you check every single day, you'll always find something. And Trusted House Sitters also lets you set alerts for places that you want to go, so you can keep an eye on new sits as they come.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I get emails all the time.
That's fun.
I love it. I just love going on the platform and searching around for where we could possibly go next.
It really is fun to just play on the platform to see, oh, we could go here. Ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
A donkey?
It's really changed the way we travel.
It really has.
And there are donkeys sometimes.
Obviously, we have a lot of great things to say about house sitting. We really do appreciate it. But there are some aspects of house sitting that might make it not the best fit for everybody. We need to emphasize that this is not a free vacation. You have responsibilities. You need to take care of the house and the pets, most likely. So you're not free with your time like a vacation. You are there to make sure that the house doesn't burn down and the pets stay alive.
So those things are your number one priority. You don't have the same kind of freedom that you would have if you were staying on your own in an Airbnb. And so that might not be for everyone if you're looking for a more flexible kind of vacation where you can, go away for nights or see lots of things in a country. That won't be the case. You're gonna need to stay in that house sit the whole time, overnight, every single night where you are. And depending on the house sit, you might not even be able to get away for many hours at a time.
We had that experience. We were house sitting some elderly dogs, and we couldn't really leave them alone for more than 4 or 5 hours at a time.
And we understood that going into the house sit, and it was winter, so we thought that that would be just fine for us because we didn't see ourselves going out all that much anyway. But when you get on a call with the homeowner, as we mentioned earlier, that's the time when you want to ask them a lot of questions so that you fully understand what you will be responsible for and what they're expecting during the sit. There have definitely been sits where we get on the call with the homeowner and we just feel that it's not the right fit for us based on what we want to do. Maybe we do want to be able to go out and explore a lot more in that place, and so it's not a right fit if we can only be away for a few hours at a time. And in those cases, we've just let the homeowner know that it won't work out for us, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, you're on the call for a vibe check.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it is.
That's really what it is. Do you vibe with that person?
Yeah, and the vibe check is really important, and I guess that can lead into some of the negative experiences we've had, which there haven't been many, but the one time that we had a house sit that maybe wasn't the best was because of lack of communication with the homeowner and a misunderstanding of expectations. It was that homeowner's first time ever using Trusted House Sitters, and I think they just didn't fully understand how it worked. And we also weren't able to overlap with them in person before they left on their trip. So I think that only added to things. We did have an initial call to get to know them. They were a lovely person. It was really just some miscommunications overall that made it not such a pleasant sit. I won't get into details, but that's the only really bad experience that we've had. So we would highly recommend only accepting house sits where the homeowner already has reviews, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. But I think that it's also really important to overlap in person with the homeowner so they can show you everything about their pets and their home in person, and you can really get to know each other better that way. I think it was just a bit weird never meeting each other in real life.
And we still haven't.
No, we've still never met her. Even when she came back, we didn't overlap. Overall, it was just not ideal. And then now you might be wondering, well, when I first signed up as a house sitter, I'm not going to have any reviews, so how am I going to get chosen as a house sitter? And that's a really good question.
And we're back.
The camera died the other day while we were recording, and then we had a call with the homeowner, and we actually got that house sit, so we'll be sharing where we're going next, probably on Instagram if you want to follow us there.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
If you're new to Trusted House Sitters and you don't have any reviews yet, then the very best thing you can do is to get references from family and friends who know you well, who can just kind of leave you a character reference on the website so people can get to know the type of person or couple that you are.
These references will be about how you are with pets, taking care of homes, letting the homeowner know that you're a trustworthy fella so that they'll let you do the house sit.
Yes, you definitely want to be a trustworthy fella. And Trusted House Sitters makes it very easy to get these references. So you just click over here on the website, and then you can easily send this pre-made message to your family and friends, and you can give them a heads up that you'll be asking them for that character reference.
It's really easy.
And then it automatically uploads what they write onto your profile. When you're first starting out, we recommend getting at least 3 of these references, and that will go a long way in having homeowners get to know you better and feel more comfortable with choosing you for a house sit.
We've said a lot of nice things about the Trusted House Sitters website, and while it is very easy to use, there are some things that do need some updating. The messaging can be a little wonky at times. Sometimes you might not get an email alerting you that you received a message about a house sit, and if you don't get back quickly, the homeowner might choose somebody else. So it's not really a big deal, but you do want to be on top of your messaging just so you don't miss out on any house sits.
Yeah, that's the only kind of funky thing about the website, is that the messages don't always load in time. I think it's because people are in different time zones, and so sometimes you'll get a message later than you should.
Oh.
That's the reason I think it is, but I don't really know why. But yeah, like Steve-O said, just stay on top of your messages. Make sure to check them a couple times a day if you're waiting to hear back from a homeowner, to make sure that you can jump on that opportunity. And speaking of jumping on opportunities, this is another new change that Trusted House Sitters has made recently in 2023. And for us as older house sitters, it's more of a negative, but for you as a new house sitter, it could actually be a really positive thing.
So apparently now, when a homeowner puts up their listing, after they get 5 applicants, Trusted House Sitters will close it for review. Now that doesn't mean that no one can ever apply for it again, but the homeowner will have to go over the applicants first and either accept them or reject them. What this all really means is that when you see a house sit that you might like, apply for it immediately, because if you don't, you might not get another chance.
And the reason that's different now is that some sits used to be extremely competitive. So we've applied for sits in London that had 50+ applicants. We actually landed a sit like that because we have a lot of good reviews on our profile now. But for a new sitter, that's kind of unfair because they won't even have a chance at a sit like that. So I do think this is a good change that Trusted House Sitters have made for new sitters to have more opportunities on the platform compared to older sitters with more reviews.
Another thing you need to know as a house sitter is that you will be in charge of all of the costs for transportation to get you to the house. Any buses, trains, planes, automobiles, all of those expenses are on you.
We have had homeowners come pick us up at the airport or train station or bus station when we arrive at a house sit and take us back when we leave. But that's just something extra and kind that they do, but it's totally not required of them. So it's basically between you and the homeowner to figure out how you're going to get to their home. They are not responsible for paying for any of your transportation. But likewise, at their home, you are not responsible for paying for anything when it comes to the house or the pets. Generally speaking, the homeowner should cover the cost of all utilities at their house because you're there, you know, they need to keep the lights on and make sure that everyone in the house, you and the pets, is comfortable.
We've had to pay for small incidental things like replacing the gas canister for the stove.
Yeah, like $15 or something like that.
If we are getting water from a water service, we'll pay for like the jugs that get delivered.
Yeah, so stuff for like daily life and living, we're happy to pay for. But that said, those have been very long-term sits when we've had to pay for those things. So sits where we're there for a month or longer. In one of those cases, we were there for 6 months. So we were more than happy to pay for those daily living expenses like new gas canister. We have also had the option at some house sits to use the housekeeper that the homeowner already uses. They said you can have them come over, but you'd need to pay, otherwise it's up to us to clean. And so we have taken advantage of that in some situations. We've also had situations where homeowners will pay for the cleaner to come themselves. So it's just really what you negotiate with the homeowner up front. But I would say overall, a lot of money shouldn't be exchanging hands. It's really just an exchange of services at the end of the day.
There are some house sitting websites out there where you can get paid to be a house sitter. Trusted House Sitters is not one of those, but we think that the exchange for watching someone's house for free rent is a perfectly fair exchange.
Leia came to say hi. Are you helping our video?
Leia's doing a great job. She's mercurial.
Her owners describe her as having a dinosaur personality because she'll be very sweet 1 second, but then the next second she'll turn on you.
I was petting her, she just bit me.
She's very much on her terms. She'll come to you, and it's up to her whether, even when she's on your lap, you're allowed to touch her. Is this okay? You crazy?
Yeah.
We love you though. Okay, Leia's gonna stay here for the next, oh, she's gone.
Bye, Leia. And if you are doing a pet sit internationally, then you'll be in charge of acquiring a visa and any other transport-related costs.
And also at immigration, you don't need to mention that you're pet sitting. You're likely going to be going into a country on a tourist visa. You are a tourist, you're staying in a friend's home. you don't need to disclose that. And in all likelihood, you'll probably stay at a hotel your first couple nights when you get into the country just to get acclimated and things like that. So that's all you'll need to put on your visa form. We don't necessarily think this next point is a negative, but Trusted House Sitters is one of the more expensive house sitting platforms out there. There are a lot of house sitting platforms that ask for an annual membership or have a fee. The lowest price for Trusted House Sitters isn't even that high. The highest price isn't too crazy either when you consider that just after doing 1 or 2 house sits, you'll more than make up for the amount of money that you spent when you compare that to a hotel or an Airbnb.
And the Trusted House Sitters membership comes with a lot of perks, like a security background check, cancellation insurance, home insurance in case anything goes wrong. You could talk to a vet in case something's happening with the pets. So there are a lot of extra perks just for being a member.
Yeah, and we just really like how the platform is. It's super easy to use, as you saw when Steve showed you on the back end earlier. We definitely feel like the membership price is worth it for what you get.
Yes. Overall, our review of Trusted House Sitters, 10 out of 10. A couple notes, but 10 out of 10.
We couldn't recommend this platform more if you're someone who loves to travel, whether you just want to travel close to your home, in your home country, or internationally. There's so many opportunities out there for you to do that with Trusted House Sitters.
We put a link in our description box that'll get you 25% off your annual membership, whether you're a homeowner, a pet sitter, or both.
If you have any other questions, feel free to comment them down below. And we really hope this video was helpful if you're someone who has been thinking about getting into house sitting and wondering if Trusted House Sitters was right for you. Again, we can't say enough good things about our experience with the platform. And if you want to see what a day in the life of a pet sitter is like, you can watch this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you there.
Bye-bye.